What's up, everybody? We're back in the kitchen with an all-new cookbook session. What we're gonna make today, some stuffed bell peppers. Not those stuffed bell peppers where you guys see a bunch of stuff in there that you know isn't good for you, like, I don't know, some fried beans and some white rice and all that kind of stuff. But what we're gonna do today, we got a little bit of ground beef here, we got our stuffed peppers, we got a little condiments that we're gonna put in there. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what we're gonna do. We got our oven, we got a frying pan, we got some olive oil on there. We're gonna have our oven, we're gonna cook the, we're gonna bake the peppers first. We're gonna cut them off, I'll show you. We're gonna put them in our oven at a 325. So start your oven, 325. We're gonna put them in there for 10 minutes. Well, what we got here, we have green peppers. You guys can get other peppers, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you guys want, you know, a big enough pepper where you can, you know, stuff this ground beef and this other stuff in there. So you want to get some big enough peppers. And don't get the peppers that are real long and thin and they won't stand up straight. Because, well, I got these ones, you know, they're all, you know, they're pretty wide, stand up straight, you know. You don't want to get those ones that are going to fall over and all that kind of stuff. You're not going to be able to really enjoy it after. I got 4 peppers here, 4 green peppers. You know, there's a lot of antioxidants in peppers, you know, good for overall health. You know, there's low carbohydrate. You know, it's mostly made up of a lot of water. You know, so there's not too much in here that's going to fill you up. But what is going to fill you up, I have a half a pound or a pound and a half of lean ground beef right here. No carbohydrate, a little bit of fat. That's not that big a deal. We got plenty of protein in here. We also have chopped garlic. We have some shredded low-fat cheese. We have some horseradish sauce. We have some Montreal steak seasoning, some thyme leaf, and some chili pepper. What's really good about all this stuff right here is that it's all, you know, it's good for you and it tastes good. A lot of the garlic, good for your circulation, good for your heart. You know, the cheese, you know, low fat. It's going to be good. You know, it's just going to go on the top of it when we get to it. The Montreal steak seasoning, you know, makes a lot of taste good. You have the thyme leaf, that's good for overall health. And so is the chili powder that we're going to put in there, really good for your metabolism. But again, guys, when you're cooking all this stuff, you don't want to see, like, the majority of this is going to be the ground beef and the pepper. Right there, that's your protein and your good nutrients, antioxidants, all in these peppers. A lot of this other stuff that you see, we're not going to be putting, you could say, you know, it's good for your circulatory system, good for your heart, good for all that kind of stuff, but you're not putting as much in there. You know, it's not going to, you know, drastically change your circulation or your, you know, your heart, your cholesterol, all that kind of stuff. It's really not going to change it that dramatically. It's over a long period of time, eating good foods, getting all the nutrients that you guys need. So a lot of this stuff, you know, if you eat all this stuff on a consistent basis, then you're going to see that change. One meal like this isn't going to change your, you know, heart health or anything like that. So, you know, it's just good. You know, this isn't the end. You know, this is the means to the end. Healthier life, healthier lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. All right. So what else do we need? You need a knife, cutting board, a bowl that we're gonna mix all of this stuff in here. We need a bowl big enough, you know, to hold a pound and a half of ground beef, and a pan that we're gonna put our peppers in the oven with. So the first thing that we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna start with the peppers. The peppers, we're gonna cut them off. You know, get rid of all that stuff in the middle of it, all the stems and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna get some olive oil. We're gonna rub the olive oil on it, and we're gonna put it in the oven for 10 minutes. And while that's cooked, while that's in the oven, we're going to start mixing our ground beef, and then we're going to cook that on a frying pan. So let's start. First things first, we're going to start to cut up our green peppers here. So first thing you want to do, get one out, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut down the top of it. So you're going to be taking that stem right out of it. So you're just going to cut off, you know, because the stem goes deeper in the pepper, so you can't see the stem like that. Well, you're going to want to cut down enough to take that stem out without cutting the pepper or breaking the pepper off. So cut that right out, and then you're going to have all this in there, right? So you can just go in with your hands and take it right out. Comes right out. And all these other stems and stuff in there, you're going to want to pull those out too, just to make more room for the ground beef. So you're just going to want to cut it all up and take out all those stems and seeds right out, and that's just going to be it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut the rest of these the exact same way. Cut down, take the stem right off, pop out the seeds and the stems in there real quick. Take those off. We got 2 more. Alright, those are the last 2. Next, what you're going to want to do, make some room. What you want to get is some spray olive oil. Shake it up. What you guys want to do is you guys want to spray this whole thing, the inside and the outside. That's just going to make it so it's not, when it's in the oven, it's not going to dry out at all. And just rub those on there. You don't want to put them upside down on your pan. Just make sure you got it all dry, all that olive oil on there. Put some on the pan. Alright. So now, flip them upside down like I said. Make sure they're covered with olive oil and go ahead and put them in the oven for 10-15 minutes. Set your timer. Once that's in the oven, bring over your bowl with the 1.5 pounds of ground beef. Now the 1.5 pounds of ground beef, that's not going to fill the entire peppers, so you're going to have a little bit left over after you stuff the peppers. So what you guys can do is either you get more peppers or you can just keep this stuff, put it in a container or something like that. The first thing we're going to put in there is our garlic. Just depends on whatever you want. You know, I really like garlic, so I'm going to put a lot in there. You know, if you're chopping these up, you know, if you have garlic cloves, just chop them up, put a couple of them in there. Depends on whatever you want. Next is our Montreal steak seasoning. Really goes good with the ground beef. You know, you can put any kind of seasoning in there you want, I guess. Thyme leaf. And I'm not really measuring this, obviously, to put in there. So it's all preference. Chili powder, be a little careful with that. Also, what you guys can do, you know, with this garlic, chop up an onion. You guys can put an onion in there. That's really good for you. Depends on whatever you guys want. But this is just an alternative for, you know, all that other kind of stuffed bell peppers that you see. Alright, so we got everything in there right now. Now you're just going to go in there with your hands. You know, if you want to get a spoon, go ahead and do that. Just going to mix it all up. Alright, once it's all mixed up, you can go ahead. We're going to throw it on our frying pan. Guys, so bring that over to your stove top. Got a big enough frying pan for all that ground beef. You're going to put it on probably about medium high. You're going to take some olive oil and you're going to cover it. And you want to put, you know, plenty in there because that's what's going to be really cooking the ground beef. So go ahead, put your olive oil in there, and then take our mixed ground beef, put it in there, spread it out as much as you can so it cooks evenly. One thing about olive oil, guys, you see all that stuff on like the news or whatever about food fraud. Well, a lot of olive oils, I have this olive oil, and I used to get this other kind of olive oil. It was in more of a clear container. Well, this olive oil right here is more like obviously it's in a darker container. And what you guys can do with your olive oil, you guys can get a you get your olive oil, put it in the refrigerator overnight, and then if it's frozen, that means there's a lot of water in there. So it's watered down, so it's not real olive oil. But this one, I had the California Olive Ranch extra virgin olive oil, and I put that in the refrigerator, and it wasn't frozen at all. So just check that out with your guys' olive oil. Alright, so what we got now, we gotta wait for this ground beef to get done cooking. Cover it up, and once it's done cooking, we're gonna go ahead and stuff our peppers. We'll probably take your peppers out. Again, 10-15 minutes on the peppers. You just want to have them turn a little bit color. We don't want to cook them too much, get the nutrients out. But once this is done cooking, we'll go ahead and stuff the peppers. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to wash our bowl out, because this is what's going to go in there, and we'll get right to it. Alright guys, while all that stuff's cooking right now, we got our ground beef on the stove top and our we have our peppers in the oven. What you guys want to get out, you're going to want to wash your bowl out. So we got to throw all this stuff in this bowl before we stuff the peppers. But first we're going to take the ground beef off of the stove top. We're going to go over to the sink. We're going to drain out all the olive oil. So drain it out, get a little strainer. And then we're going to throw all that stuff back in the bowl. What we're going to do then is we're going to get our horseradish sauce. We're going to put some of that on there. Again, you guys can get what's really good I've tried before is that mozzarella sauce that you guys put on pizzas and stuff. You guys can take about a cup of that, put it in the bowl with a little bit of horseradish sauce. But I'm just going to use horseradish sauce today, and spread all that in there, mix it all up. If you guys want to put the cheese in at that time, you guys can go ahead and do that. But I'm just going to put the cheese on top after we stuff the peppers. I'll show it to you when we get to that point. We're going to put the cheese on, we're going to stuff the peppers, put the cheese on again, and then throw it back in the oven for, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe. And then, so all that cheese is melted on there, it's going to be really good, alright? So, we're going to let all the stuff cook. Once it's done, we'll show you what's up. Alright guys, it's all done cooking. I already drained out all the olive oil, so you're just going to take the frying pan that you cooked the ground beef on over the sink with the strainer, dump it out into the strainer, and then you're going to take what's in the strainer and you're going to put it back right in the bowl, okay? Got the stuffed peppers out, or the peppers out, and what you're going to see is that all around the top of it, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little brownish, it's a little discolored, and that means, they're ready to go. So right when you take them out, they might be still a little hot, so good luck with that. But just flip them over so they'll cool down and you'll be good to go. So what you're gonna do first is you're gonna take your horseradish, or if you guys got that the mozzarella sauce, go ahead and dump that in there. Remember, a cup of that, put it in there. But I'm just gonna kind of show you guys. Just gonna dump it in, and you're just gonna mix it all up. You want the ground beef to be in small pieces. I don't know, when you're cooking them, they might still be in chunks when you take them out. So you just want to kind of chop them all up, so they fit inside your peppers. Just mix it all up, get all the sauce on there. All its protein, all of it. Got our garlic in there, chili powder, thyme leaf. Alright, so that's probably small enough. What I like to do first, take our shredded cheese and put them in there. Put them in our peppers first. It'll melt the bottom a little bit. It's still hot. You guys don't have to do this, but this is what I do. Jack's wants some. So right when you got all those in there, all that cheese, you go ahead, start stuffing. Phone's ringing. But what you guys want to do is when you take them out of the oven, don't turn the oven off, because you remember we're going to stuff them, we're going to put them back in there. So try not to overload them too much. Like I said, you're going to have a little extra. A little more. So this one. See, all depends really. You can have 4 peppers and fit all this in there, but depends on the size of your peppers. So you got those stuffed. Now I'm gonna put some more cheese on top of it. So there's a lot of cheese in here. You know, I don't really know what else you could substitute, put on. But make sure you get low-fat cheese. So either, you know, you can eat it just like this, or you can put it back in the oven. I'm gonna put it back in the oven for a couple minutes. We'll take them back out and I'll show you guys, you know, how they look, finished product, alright? Guys, here they are, finished product. Might be a little hot, but I'll show you. Right there. Got our cheese on top, our ground beef. You can see a little garlic in there. You'll be able to taste the Montreal steak seasoning, chili powder, the thyme and leaf, all in there. It's a lot of, you know, you got the cheese on the bottom of it, you know, nice little color to it. Still got a lot of nutrients in there. We didn't cook them. A lot of times you'll see, like, if you get vegetables at restaurants, they cook the shit out of them, so they're all, you know, not even crunchy. You still want that crunch factor, because if you don't have that crunch factor, you know, a lot of the nutrients is gone. But that's it, guys. The stuffed bell peppers. RoweFitness.com, recipes on there. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go enjoy it. I'm gonna go enjoy some of these. Not all of them, but some of them. It was really good, guys. Give it a try. Let me know. Thanks for watching.